When you choose to be amused, your life and your pets' lives are going to get a whole lot better. So, a few years back, I used to get triggered. I used to get triggered by my dogs. I'd get grumpy and annoyed with my dogs. I'd get grumpy and annoyed with people in traffic. And just humans would do all these things that annoyed me. It was, and it generated a lot of heavy energy in my system. A lot of annoyance, a lot of frustration, grumpiness, anger, all these kinds of things. And then one day I thought, I wonder what would happen if I could choose to be amused by these pork chops, these silly people, or these inconsiderate people, or these people doing all kinds of behaviors that are less than ideal, and animals too, right? Because I work with a lot of animals that can be thoroughly annoying. Anxious animals, animals with behavior issues, animals that have never had any training, animals that have no boundaries, animals that have trouble learning. I tell you what, they can be super frustrating. But and back earlier on in my life, I would get annoyed by these animals. I get frustrated and I would generate a whole lot of heavy energy. But since I decided to choose to be amused, and I am hoping to inspire you to take this on board and do it in your life, because your pets will get incredible benefits if you decide to choose to be amused by whatever the people are, whatever they're doing that really gets you going, that triggers you, that sends you into a doom spiral of heavy emotions, of anger, of frustration, of this, that, and whatever, So it's really simple. All you have to do is make a decision, number one, that you're going to choose to be amused by these people, by these things, by your animals, if they do things that get you goat. And it's a funny thing. It's a simple thing. It's actually surprisingly easy to be amused by your animals doing things that are a bit ridiculous and pork-choppery, and by other humans. It's something that can make it. Well, it's made such a difference in my life. It's not funny that I choose to be amused. I choose to be amused when my whippet eats my pen. Instead of getting all grumpy, oh, bad, naughty whippet. Oh, goodness, you silly old whippet, you've eaten my pen again. If I choose to be amused, there's a very big difference in my day when I choose to be amused about anything and everything that in the past might have triggered me into grumpiness, into impatience, into judgment, into anger, into whatever. Because these heavy energies, they don't just permeate your life, they permeate your pet's life. Because if you are running and creating, and you are the one who creates the emotions in your being, some of this is unconscious, yes, and some of it is not necessarily, in the beginning at least, easy for you to have full conscious control of. But the more you become aware of yourself, the more you might become aware that, oh, I've got an unconscious trigger, and when my dog pulls on the lead, I've got this low-grade annoyance. What if you got amused by them pulling on the lead? When you choose to be amused, a lot of things that used to really bring heavy energies or trigger you into creating heavy energies in your life, which then, your mood surrounds and permeates your pet's whole being and consciousness. So anything you can do to shift your mood to a happier place has a profoundly beneficial effect for your pet. So when you choose to be amused by that person who doesn't leave you a gap to move into in traffic. Well, I came home from the airport last night after a beautiful weekend away for a preparation working bee type weekend for a vision quest that I'm doing later in the year. I got back to my ute. I had a flat tire. Now, long weekend, tired, done a lot of stuff, been delayed on the airplane, which I was cheerful all the way through because I decided to choose to be amused by the plane being delayed too. I'm looking at me, no, I've got a flat tire. That's terrible. Oh, you change your tire. I thought, I'm going to be amused. This is going to be fun. I'm going to make this fun. I'm going to make changing my tire fun. I'm going to choose to be amused by having a flat tire. And then I had a cheerful drive home. So it's a simple little thing, but it is profoundly life-changing. And anything that is profoundly life-changing for you has an immense benefit for your beautiful animals. So come on, give it a go. I invite you to start choosing to be amused from here on in. Now, be aware that in the beginning, you're probably going to get triggered and not notice that you've got all grumpy. Well, you can kind of then get amused about you missing it and being grumpy. and then you'll have a smile, and suddenly you'll be happy, and your whole day will get lighter, and you have more energy, and you'll get more done. But honestly, in the beginning, you may backslide a little, and you may forget to do it. That's okay. Every time you forget to do something and notice it is just a beautiful opportunity to start doing the thing that's going to make a difference. And choosing to be amused, it's just a fun little thing that I thought I might try years back, and it has had the most profoundly beautiful positive effect in my life. So I invite you to choose to be amused. I hope that you've been amused by my little video today. Love to hear from you in the chat. Love to hear what you thought of it. Love to hear where you're from listening. And if you want a session with me as a vet or a healer, an intuitive, please do hit me up with a message. Have a beautiful day. Choose to be amused, and please give your pets a beautiful pat from me. And I'll see you back next week.